So we're back to another live trading session. Today's live trading session is going to be completely different compared to the other ones due to the fact that we're already in a trade. So you guys are going to be able to see me execute a trade today with gold, maybe with US30. I haven't done my markup yet with US30, but if we take a look at yesterday US30 trade, you guys can see that we hit final take profit for a perfect 1 to 3 risk to reward, 300 points. This trade over here was beautiful. Ended up making over $900 in this trade over here. So this trade over here was beautiful. In our gold position from yesterday, as you guys can see, it is currently running very nice. Let me just close my windows because the windows are open. You guys can hear the birds, so give me 1 second. So like I was telling you guys, today is going to be completely different. We're already in a gold trade right now. So we take a look at yesterday gold trade, which as you guys can see, it played out amazing in this position. We were running over a 1 to 3.6 risk to reward, which is over 400 points. A beautiful setup that we ended up taking yesterday. We still haven't hit final take profits. Our final TP is still going to be set at this zones over here, which is set at the 33.46. Now check this out. We were able to scale in another position last night, which was simply a buy limit, right? Now, the reason why we end up taking a buy limit, if you guys went back to yesterday live breakdown, I explained to you guys this exact lows over here. I was explaining to you guys, hey, if price session managed to break above these lows over here, which was the early London session lows and New York lows as well, if price session managed to break above these lows over here, all I'm waiting for is for price session to have a pullback to retest all of these broken lows, right? So if we take a look at a 1 hour time frame, you guys can also see that this 1 hour structure connects perfectly with another demand zone, right? So we literally just gotta expand it all the way to here. This will make more sense like this zone's over here. Let me check more if you guys take a look more of a higher time frame. I also was planning to buy somewhere between, I actually have two positions. I'm going to explain to you guys right now, but let's go into a 4 hour time frame so you guys can actually see the clearest zone. But this is the exact zone that I was looking for the extra buy position, right? Which is exactly at these exact demand zones, right? You guys take a look at the left side, you guys can see at one point this areas of interest was once an area of resistance, which at one point price session broke above, which is right above these zones over here, which we managed to break above these exact zones right over here, which price session got a perfect rejection towards, which is maintained above, forming a nice demand zone, which as you guys can see, price session had a double rejection towards these zones, pushing the market even higher, right? So if we take a look at yesterday market structure, we did see that price session perfectly respected all of these exact major demands. We broke above these other demand zones over here. If we go back towards a lower time frame, this also aligns with previous low structures, right? We got a perfect pullback towards these zones, as well it aligns with our Fibonacci zones, which is going to be the golden zone. So we simply place it from previous lows all the way to previous highs, and you guys can see it perfectly aligns with the golden zones over here, which we got a perfect rejection. So as of right now, this position is currently running over 100 points over a 101 risk to reward. In this setup, I'm currently up. I'm explaining to you guys right now how much I'm up. So in these setups over here, let me just take a screenshot. This is a really nice entry. So in this current position, with every single trade that I'm up right now, I'm up $1,200 with these trades, which are beautiful, right? So we're going to continue holding this trade here. I believe it is Wednesday, so every time that I trade on Wednesdays, from my experience, I notice that Wednesdays are very slow. So at this point over here, I'm just going to continue holding this. Our first take profit set at the 33.30, which is back at these highs over here. But very simple. Again, we have rejection toward major demands, break above these lows over here, which was the previous London lows. And if you guys take a look at the left side, these are very nice areas of demands, which price action in the previous action, we did see some type of reaction, right? So this is exactly where I end up taking my buy position. Now, again, we're still focusing on the main picture. So if we take a look at a higher time frame, we're still waiting for price action to actually give us a pullback towards these entire intraday structure broken, my bad, pulling back into these 4 hour broken structures, right? If you guys take a look at the overall picture, obviously we did see that price action has been bearish for a few days already. We have broken underneath these exact lows over here, which I'm anticipating for price action to give us a pullback towards these zones, and that's exactly where I'll be entering my sell, right? And I actually called out a sell limit yesterday around the 33.47, so we have a sell limit placed at the 33.47. We're gonna be waiting obviously to see how price action pulls back towards the zone. But as you guys can see, we're perfectly respecting it. We're maintaining itself above. We have a nice 1 hour candle closure, a very nice 1 hour bullish engulfing candle closure, rejecting off this entire demand zone, right? So I do anticipate for price action to push higher. Hopefully we end up hitting TP1 in a few minutes, which is only 5 points away. And then we're just waiting for price action to overall pull back towards these broken structure where we're going to be looking for our sell opportunities, right? Now, what I might do is that if our buy position from these zones over here starts playing out very nice and we come back towards these sell zones right over here, right? What I'm going to be anticipating to see how, if we do get active with our sell, I might be moving my take profits for this one a little bit higher back to the stop loss where our sell position is going to be at, just in case that even though if our sell hits stop loss, we have two buys over here that recovers the losses overall, right? So that's exactly the plan for today with our gold. Again, it is Wednesday, so I do anticipate the market to be very slow. So we're actually going to put TP1 right over here. 33.30. This is take profit 1. So we're going to put this. Great. This is beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful, exactly the way that we planned. Now, we're taking a look here at US30. I haven't done my markup for the day. Overall, US30 has been extremely bullish. We do have a nice break above all of these entire major highs over here. So obviously, as of right now, you guys can see that price session is giving us a pullback towards these zones, right? So very similar. We're going to be looking for just break and retest setups, right? So I'm going to delete all of this here. And I'm going to redo my whole entire analysis to find perfect zones where price action can have the anticipation to give us a pullback, or maybe we're going to be just reacting at that and maybe looking for other type of setups, right? So this is US30 right now. We're extremely bullish. Let me just delete all of this. We're ready to do a fresh markup. Make sure everything's on. All right, perfect. We're about to do a fresh markup, so we're going to go from a daily perspective, right? So we're going to look at a daily time frame. We have seen that obviously US30 the past 2 days, we have been extremely bullish, right? So again, we're going to go into the weekly. We're going to mark up our weekly lows and our weekly highs so far so that we can have that in mind. So we have this as our weekly lows. We have this up here as our weekly highs, right? So this is going to be weekly highs over here. Let's see at the daily time frame. We're looking at it from a weekly high so far, since we are seeing those minor rejection. Overall, we're still bullish, so I'm not expecting for sales just yet. But we're seeing some minor rejection, and we're clearly seeing it that price action is rejecting off these exact zones over here. You guys can see it was previous areas of support. Right over here, which price session had broke underneath, we got a pullback. We did see the price session has flipped from support to resistance. This is exactly where we did see the sell-off, right? If you guys take a look at the left side, you guys can also see that we're still trading above these areas of support, right? So we have support here, we have a resistance, we did see a sell-off, we did see a break, we did see a retest, support maintain here, another resistance, we did see a sell-off, break above here, another area of support, push the market, pull back, another area of support, push the market, pulls back, breaks underneath. These areas now flip it into an area of resistance, and as you guys can see, as of right now, price action is having the same exact rejection, right, or reaction. We're coming back towards these areas of support, which as of right now, price action is rejecting, right? We can see that yesterday daily candle, we did tap into these zones, which price action didn't fully close above, but we actually wick rejected, and this week, or this market open from this daily candle, did not maintain or did not, break above these zones. We're still trading underneath these major higher time frame zones, which is going to be set at the 43 230 is going to be the areas of, well, not areas of interest for a position, but definitely a zone that price action is having a reaction from, right? So this is something to have marked up. This is going to be our weekly highs. Now, if we take a look at the daily structure, what do we notice at the daily structure? Notice this: we broke above these daily highs over here, right? These are the daily highs that price action managed to break above, which is going to be set, I would say 42,900 will be, not 42,900, just put it on top of these bodies here. This will be somewhere between 42,920. I think my coffee's ready. I'll be right back. Let me go check. All right, so we got our coffee here. It's just burning hot. You guys can see it like this. It's just burning right now. So we're gonna hold this for now before we drink or take a sip. But let me check something very quick. What do you guys think? We are up 1,240. Still down near take profit 1, but the volume is very low, but at least we're in profit. We're deep in profit. Now, going back here to US30, right? US30, we have broken above these entire daily structures highs over here, right? So that's something to definitely keep in mind. If we take a look at the 4-hour structure, we have obviously noticed that price action has been extremely bullish. We also had broken above all of these entire structure, which was usually my main areas of interest, to be honest with you guys, which was right over here where I was waiting for price session yesterday to give us a pullback, but we actually just got the break and retest above these zones over here. Now notice how US30 is now having an aggressive sell-off from these exact supply zones, where I was just explaining to you guys, right? We just, we are selling off from these areas of support, which price session is currently trading underneath. And if you guys take a look here at the 4-hour time frame, you guys can also see that we have leftover 4-hour supply zones, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But let's go into a 1-hour structure to see what we're doing here. So, well, first thing first, we're going to readjust this. This is actually going to be above here, which was yesterday's support. And then this is currently the highs that we are breaking above, which is these intraday's high structure. So I mean, so at this point here, let's actually just mark up this. This is gonna be our areas of interest of the day, which is these highs over here. Let's go into 2-hour time frame. What are we trading above? Look at this, all areas of previous reaction. So this is actually a valid zone. So we're gonna go back here to the 4-hour time frame. We're gonna actually drag this all the way to the end. You guys can see that we're basically trading above these previous areas of supply zones or resistance, we can say. So let's see. Yeah, look at that. This is a very valid zone. So we have broken above these highs over here. We have also broken above these current highs over here. 1 hour, we're bullish. I mean, everything looks dope here. What we're going to be waiting for, same exact things that we waited for here. So if you guys notice, we are having a pullback towards these major zones over here, right? So very simple. As long price action can reject off these areas of interest, which is going to be set at the 4,300, right? 4,300, 43,050. As long as price action can reject these zones and obviously see some type of bullish reaction, we are going to be giving some buys and opportunities, right? Now, obviously, our buy opportunity is always going to be based off a broken structure, right? So we're taking a look here at these 1 minute time frame. We do have, let's see. We'll go back into 15 and we mark up previous highs. So what do we have here? This was London session highs. All of this was London session high. This all here was London session lows, we can say. Then we have the New York session highs here. So we're going to mark this up. So we have New York session highs, which aligns perfectly with previous London highs. And then we also have these exact lows over here, which were made, we can say pre-New York session. Still the London, since we haven't opened the 8 o'clock. But then over here, this or here does not matter. But these are zones just to have an idea. Which, as you guys can see, since we have rejected these levels over here, our weekly high, we did see an incline or decline actually from towards these zones over here. We formed a London highs, which is going to be set right above these highs over here, which price action did have a pullback. Notice how we never actually tap into these zones and we started seeing some type of bearish reaction. Early New York session, this was the 9:30. We did see a bearish action. We did see the pullback towards these pre-London lows or pre-New York session lows over here, which price action is currently, trading underneath these zones. So we did see some type of short-term sellers. Since we tapped into these zones, how many pips have we dropped down? We have dropped over 200 points. That is not much. But overall, we're still tapping into these zones. I'm still bullish, not 100% bearish yet. But if I'm going to be interested in buying the markets, if I'm going to be interested in buying the market in this point over here, all I'm going to be waiting for a reaction from this zone and a break above these highs. I think this right here will be solid. Yeah, definitely. So again, same exact setup as yesterday. Rejection towards these previous highs over here. Bullish rejection, a break above these entire structures right over here, 43,050, a retest it. Once we break above it, I'm going to be looking for a buy position, right? Now, personally, me, I think a safe buy position will actually be above these structures over here, which was actually during the New York highs. Yeah, during the New York session opens, this would make more sense here, but we might be getting an early entry. Again, this might be a risky setup here. Risky entry and aggressive entry, we can say, since it's just immediately, taking the buys from here. But let's see, we still are tapping into these zones, but these are levels just to have markup just in case. So overall, I am still bullish. Now, let's say that price action, obviously, if price action does this, we pull back, we fail to close above, we start trading it underneath. I'm not going to be looking for sells yet. Why? Because again, we're still trading above these entire intraday structure highs. Why would I be taking a sell whenever price action is trading above these areas of resistance, right? The idea is for price action to be under in areas of resistance, right? So if we start seeing some seller action towards these zones, I'm going to be waiting for price action to break underneath these levels. Once we break underneath these levels, we're just waiting for a pullback, making sure that price action trades underneath. If we do see that price action trades underneath, then obviously we're going to be taking a sell position to then target back towards these lows. If these lows starts breaking underneath, then we can definitely target all the way back towards these other zones over here, which is going to be set at the 42.60, right? So this will be a very nice drop if we actually get this entire sells. It will be the same exact play over 300 points. And if price session just breaks above these levels, then we're going to be targeting back towards these highs over here, which will be another perfect play. So that's going to be for US30. So we're going to obviously wait for this setup to play out. It is 11 in the morning, so I don't know if the market is going to be having very volume or high expected volume, since again it is Wednesday, it's the middle of the day, the middle of the week. The middle of the week for me sometime is very slow, so I might not be getting some extra setups, but definitely these are the plays I'm going to be waiting with US30. We're going to go over here to NAS 100. I haven't traded NAS 100 in weeks, guys. I haven't traded this period in weeks. Let's see. Let me just delete all of this as well. I'm gonna go into the daily time frame. What is the daily time frame rejecting? Well, you know, actually, we actually broke above these highs over here. So we actually broke above these all-time highs. Price session as of right now. Well, we're kind of seeing a pullback towards these zones. This might be interesting, to be honest. So this all here, we're gonna put actually lower. Well, no. Which is these intraday highs. And then we also have these new highs, which price action is rejecting. You see, all of these sells were valid. Obviously I was just not active during those time. But these sells over here positioned with NAS 100 and US30, they were valid, because notice how we had a bearish reaction over here. Price action had a broken structure, which price action perfectly pulled back towards these supplies, which we did see price action sell off, right? So that was valid. I was not active this time, so I'm not going to be able to take that trade. But if we look at it over here from 22,250, this will be a perfect zone for potential bounce plays. If we take a look at it from a intraday structure, funny how trading is, right, guys? It's just patient and just waiting for price action to pull back towards your levels. We're basically wizards, just finding zones where we anticipate for market to have pullbacks, market to have bounce plays, or market to have sell-off. So if we take a look at it from a 30-minute perspective, this is definitely a zone with NAS 100 that I'll be interested in looking for bounce plays. Ideally, you know, I think if price action does break underneath, I wouldn't sell just yet, because we still have these support zones over here. Maybe these zones over here as well will probably respect, which was a broken highs from yesterday. But we might be seeing price action giving us a pullback towards these levels. Maybe short term. Nah, I don't think so. That is very, I would say this is a very degenerate trade. We end up taking some sells here. Well, for me, just in case, because I don't like how we're still trading above these higher lows. You see this? So we might just grab liquidity towards all of these zones before we have another push towards the upside. But this can be definitely levels where price action can either pull back towards a little bit deeper, pick up liquidity, and then start having the shift of structure toward, so that we can end up buying the market, right? So this can be a potential setup. Or the other one, obviously, if we start breaking underneath all of these entire structure, then we're just waiting for a react and adapt. But let's see, we are seeing a reaction towards here. US30. What is going on here with gold? I think we're still in profit. Come on, gold. We need more volume. Yeah, so US30 is still in these zones. If you guys take a look at it from a 30-minute perspective, we already had a reaction, but notice how market just gapped towards these areas of interest. We just gapped above these areas of interest. Didn't necessarily tap towards these zones, so it's not really a valid sell or valid play. But definitely we'll be looking for, obviously, the bounce plays above 43,060 and break underneath here for a sell position. So that is going to be for US30, for NAS, and for gold, guys. It is 11:27, so I'm going to step out. Obviously, we're going to wait for market to tap toward these zones before we have a trade. So I would just update you guys. I'm going to send out these analysis right now in the free Telegram. But perfect trade so far with gold. This is the only trade that we're currently in right now. Over $1,200 in profit. Let's see. Yeah, $1,200 in profit. Beautiful. So we're going to continue holding these trades. I'm going to update the groups, show you guys this entire Telegram. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I just took a buy position here with US30. Just send it out right now to the Telegram group. I'm going to tell everyone to buy right now. My entry is set at 4,300. So I'm just send this real quick. Buy position 4,300. Let me enter this position as well in my account. All right. enter. So 4,300 is my entry. Stop loss is going to be 42,900. Take profit is going to be open. TP1 43,030, 43,060, 43,090, and then we got 43,100. 42,900. Yeah, look at this. We're having the push already. It's exactly what we are talking about. So that is beautiful right now with US30. Let me just delete some stuff here. Look at this. I literally cannot make this up, guys. We just went back. We did the same exact analysis over and over again. So we have 42,900 is going to be my stop loss, which is underneath previous lows. So let me just get ready. Yeah, that's clean. That's perfect. And then our take profit always going to be at a 1-3 risk to reward. So our final TP is going to set at 43,300 is our final take profit, which will be a perfect 1-3 risk to reward. Look at this trade playing out already. That is beautiful. Now I'm going to give you guys the exact analysis why I entered this trade. So going back to earlier breakdown, I explained to you guys as long as price action can maintain itself above these 1 hour highs over here, which is simply areas of resistance, which obviously we had a perfect break. If you guys take a look at yesterday's position, we had a break above these areas of resistance, which obviously we broke above, retested it, used that as an area of support. We did see the bounce play. If we take a look at the 1 hour time frame, we did see that last previous candle, which was 11 o'clock, which price action had a perfect rejection towards these areas of interest, which we are trading above these levels, right? We take a look here from the 30-minute time frame, we have sweeps of all of these entire lows. Same thing with the 15-minute time frame. We do have a very nice 15-minute time frame retest 2 times towards these areas of interest, which is exactly what we want. 5-minute time frame looks perfectly. We go back into the 1 hour time frame. I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why I end up taking these buys. So again, going along every single time frame, we came back towards these zones. We did see retest 2-3 times already towards these zones, which is exactly what we want. If we take a look exactly right of these legs over here, which was 5 minutes before the 11 a.m. candle close, notice how we perfectly retested these zones 2 times in a row, broke above, formed a 1 minute time frame fair value gap right over here, which price action perfectly pulled back towards these zones, retested it not once but twice, and we actually maintained itself above. My entry confirmation was exactly at this bullish engulfing candle closure, right after rejecting our main areas of interest and rejecting off these 1 minute fair value gaps, right? We also broke above these areas of interest, which is exactly where I was telling you guys to buy the markets. But again, this over here, it is a very aggressive entry. Me personally, I would like to buy the market over here, which will be a safer buys, but the risk to reward here is still there, so I'm actually interested in taking these buys. Obviously, we're going to be targeting back towards these highs over here. My take profit is at 43,300, and then my entry was actually at 4,300. Now, obviously, TradingView has a complete different entry from my broker, but this is exactly what we're aiming. This is exactly what we're looking for. I mean, the 15-minute time frame looks sick. 5-minute time frame looks amazing as well. Let's see. We have perfect rejection towards these areas of interest, perfect rejection towards the fair value gap, perfect bullish engulfing candles just closing above all of these areas of interest. So we should definitely see the market push higher. Let's see what happens. Right now with this position, we're currently back at entries, but it's still fine. We have gold over here, which is moving nice. So overall in profit for right now, I'm up $1,400 in profit. So that is beautiful. That's exactly what we're going to be doing for today. So we're just going to let this play out. I'm going to let you guys update you guys once we do hit TP1 with US30. But let's see. Hopefully we get this push that we are anticipating. This is the last trade that I am taking for the day. So it is 12 o'clock. This is a very late entry. So let's see if we do get the move that we are anticipating, right? But I will update you guys in a few. All right, so we just hit take profit 1 with US30. Call this out right now inside the Telegram. Up right now $80 with this trade. Beautiful. We're having that push that we want. Gold is 20 points or 10 points away from actually hitting TP1. So for TP1, one of my position is going to hit, tell you guys right now, 150 pips with one position, and then the other position is going to hit 100 pips. So we're going to be over like 240 pips in profit. Right now, total profits, I'm up $1,600. So we're going to continue holding this trade. You guys saw pretty much everything. You guys went from Monday that we had a choppy start. We lost 3 trades. Going back to yesterday, catching big trades, one with gold, one with US30. Now today we're catching another big trade. So these are beautiful setups that we are taking back to back. We have recovered already our loss at this point here, which is letting the market do its thing. It is Wednesday. Again, like I told you guys, Wednesday is very slow, but we did get the setup that we always wait for. So we're just gonna let the market do its thing at this point. But beautiful way, we were in a drawdown at the beginning of this week. We managed to recover, take every single trade the same exact way that we do. So beautiful start, or beautiful way to be at the middle of the week. So let's just see what happened. I'll update you guys once we come over here. I might be closing half of my position, going break even, especially since we are trading underneath these levels, obviously to be a little bit more safe and to protect our capital. But this is exactly what we're going to be waiting for. So let's see what happens. All right, so I'm just going to give you guys a quick update. I'm about to close out this trading session. We have gold over here, which we just hit take profit 1. So I do have 2 entry. I have one entry at 33.20 and another one at 33.15. 33.15 right now is running at a 1-2 risk to reward. The other one is currently running at a 1-1 risk to reward. Beautiful trade overall. We did secure over 250 pips. I already have my stop loss placed at break even. We're just letting the market do its thing. Already secured some profits. Moving forward to US30, unfortunately US30 did not play out the way that we anticipated. We're currently trading underneath our zone, so we haven't hit fully stop loss yet. We're very close to hit stop loss. What I did was just manage my risk. But with US30, I'm currently down $250, which is fine. And then with the other position with gold, I'm currently up in total profits over $1,700 for the day. So US30, it wasn't the trade of the day. Again, like I was telling you guys, this was a very high risky trade due to the fact that I prefer market structure to actually be above these entire highs over here, which was somewhere between the 43,100, but the probabilities was still there around the 4,300. So obviously I'm going to be taking these setups over and over again. We waited for everything that we always wait for, which is always rejection towards the areas of interest, a break of structure, the retest of these fair value gaps, and that's exactly what we did. Well, as we speak right now, US30 just end up hitting stop loss, so end up losing $300 in this trade. Now we have gold, which in total profits right now, you guys can see that we're up $2,000. So $300 loss is not a big deal. We have $2,000 floating running with gold, which is amazing. So we're going to continue holding this position. But US30 did not play out the way that we anticipated, which sucks. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at NAS 100 very quick. NAS 100, well, we're still trading around these areas, so NAS is not doing anything. But like I was telling you guys, right, we might be seeing price action coming back towards these lows over here, which we might grab liquidity towards these areas before we start having to move towards the upside. If we take a look at US30, I do believe that US30 might be coming down towards these zones. I'm not going to be trading no more since it's already 1 o'clock. I got to go do other stuff. But we did manage to, we did hit TP1. I did not secure any profits. Obviously, we end up securing profits between TP3. But price action just maintained itself underneath these zones. We started seeing that price action, obviously seeing that sellers were still in control of the markets. These zones over here started breaking underneath. We never got the pullback that we waited for. So obviously, we're not going to be taking this position or jumping into another trade just because we lost this trade. So it's fine. But I do believe that US30 might see another deeper push towards these zones. We're going to see how price action reacts towards these areas. But with indices, I am done for the day. I will be back tomorrow. So we're now with indices. I'm only up 2% for the week. We had a win yesterday, which was a $900 win. And as of right now, we are down $300 for the day with US30. But with gold, we're up 2,000. So we're fine for the day. We're fine for the week. So that is for the day, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdowns, enjoying this market recap, this live trading execution and everything. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another live trading session.